Hey y'all, I'm Anna and welcome back to another What's for Dinner. Tonight we are making chicken pot pie for dinner, and I'm so excited because this is one of my favorite dinners ever, and I have not made it in a while, so it is time to go ahead and make one. I'm actually going to make two. Every time I make this, I make two of them, and I've done a video on this before, like last summer I think, and I haven't really changed anything about it. The only thing I'm doing differently is I'm using fresh vegetables. Now last time I used frozen only because I had those on hand, but tonight I'm using fresh. And so let me go ahead and show you what all we need. We're gonna need 2 deep dish pie crusts. My favorite is the Pillsbury brand. So I've got those thawing out. I just took them out of the freezer about 20 minutes ago. I have some rotisserie chicken. I already picked this apart. We're gonna need a little bit of cream, poultry seasoning, salt and pepper. I've got carrots, celery, and onion. Now you could use frozen vegetables if you like, or canned veggies, but I like to use fresh if I have it on hand. We need a 1/3 cup of butter and a 1/3 cup of flour. And we're gonna need 2 pie crusts for the top. These are the kind that you just unroll. So Pillsbury is my favorite, and I've got these thawing too because I always keep these in my freezer. The last thing that we need for this recipe is some chicken stock. I made some myself today, and this has been simmering on the stove for a couple of hours now. I always use the bones and the fat and just the stuff that we don't actually eat of the rotisserie chicken. I throw it in a pot and cover it with water. I added a good pinch of salt to it, and I just let this boil for several hours or until I'm ready to use it. So this looks perfect, but I am going to strain it in a few minutes, but I'm just going to let this simmer away until I need it. We're also going to preheat the oven to 375. And once that's preheated, we're gonna bake the pie crust, just the bottom, for about 10 or 15 minutes just to give them a head start. I knew I was forgetting something. I've got about 1/2 cup of frozen peas that I'm gonna add now. And I'll just cook this here for another minute or so, and then we will be ready to fill up our pie shells. Of course, I just realized that I forgot to put some heavy cream in the filling, but you know what? I'm gonna do it anyways. It's not gonna be perfect, but I'm gonna put a little splash in each one, and I'm just gonna use a fork to stir it around. Our second meal of the week is a keto recipe. This is a chicken bacon ranch casserole, and I've made it one other time before. It's been a while, and we really liked it last time, so I'm excited to make it again. I've got some cooked chicken over here. I cooked this in the crock pot today. I also need 1 cup of mozzarella cheese and 1 cup of cheddar. I've got that shredded and ready to go. The recipe calls for 8 slices of bacon. This is more like 10, but that's okay because we love bacon. I also need some minced garlic, ranch dressing, and you could do any veggie that you like. I'm choosing to use broccoli, so the first thing I'll do is put this in the microwave and let it cook all the way. Our last recipe for the week is called a keto lasagna skillet. So let me show you what all we need. I have a cup of mozzarella cheese that I've shredded, a little bit of diced celery, some diced onion, 1 pound of lean ground beef, We'll need some ricotta cheese. The recipe says to use Parmesan cheese, but I'm just using this Italian 5 cheese because I had that in my fridge and I need to use it up. I've got a couple of eggs, some extra virgin olive oil, tomato sauce, garlic, salt, pepper, and then some spices over here. Italian seasoning, oregano, garlic powder, and onion powder. Now I'm going to add in my diced onion and celery. Now I'm going to add in the ground beef. Now the recipe does not say to add in any oregano or garlic powder or onion powder, but I always add that to like my spaghetti sauce or anything like that, so I'm going to add a little bit in. I'm just going to eyeball it. I just turned this down to low, and the recipe says to add in a half cup of marinara sauce, but I don't have any marinara sauce. It says to use a low sugar one, so I just used tomato sauce. But since we added in the garlic powder and the onion powder and the oregano, I think it'll be flavorful enough with that, so that's all I'm gonna do for now. I'm gonna leave this on low and let it simmer while we make the cheese topping. I have a large mixing bowl here, and I need 8 ounces of ricotta cheese. But my container is a 30 ounce, and I'm not good at eyeballing stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is use my scale, and I'm just going to make that on 0, and I'll just add enough ricotta until it says 8 ounces. The recipe doesn't say to do this, but I'm going to add a little bit more of this to the top too. Okay, this has been simmering for about 10 minutes now. You can see that the cheese is all bubbly and a little bit of that grease has seeped through, which is totally fine. Now I'm gonna turn the broiler on and let that preheat for a minute, and then I'll stick this under the broiler for about 2 or 3 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you all next week. Bye!